Today, we're diving into the UK travel scene, and specifically the fascinating and, let's be honest, often frustrating tug of war that dictates the price and the quality of pretty much every trip you take across the country. Does this sound familiar? One weekend, you find an amazing hotel deal. Everything just works, the trip is an absolute breeze. But the next time you try to book a simple getaway, prices are sky high. Everywhere is fully booked, and just getting there is a total nightmare. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not just bad luck. It's this constant battle between massive demand and a seriously limited supply. I want you to think of it like a giant tug of war, okay? So on one side of the rope, you've got the pull. These are all the forces creating this huge demand, pulling millions of people towards UK hotels and attractions. And on the other side, you have the squeeze, all the very real things holding the industry back, preventing it from keeping up. This constant fight is what's shaping your entire travel experience. So let's start with the first team in this tug of war. What exactly is creating this enormous, relentless pull? You know, this is about way more than just people going on summer holidays. The demand for travel in the UK is this wild mix of predictable cycles, like a sunny weekend drawing everyone to the coast, and these sudden massive spikes caused by literally everything, from huge sporting events to university move-in days. And these big, world-famous events, they act like demand magnets. Just think about it for a second. Wimbledon, the Edinburgh Festival, a big Premier League match. They don't just attract a few extra people. No, they focus this enormous wave of demand on one city at one very specific time, and bam, hotel and transport prices just go through the roof. And it's not just the stuff you see in the headlines. There are all these hidden drivers too. University cities see these totally predictable surges during graduation week. You've got the constant flow of people through a massive airport hub like Heathrow, creating this steady baseline demand. And hey, even something as simple as a hotel getting a bunch of glowing online reviews can create a really powerful localized pull. But here's where it gets really interesting: the cost of living crisis. It's a fascinating twist. As everyone's bills go up, people just have less money to spend. So those luxury stays and spontaneous weekend trips, they're often the first things to get cut. But this doesn't just lower demand for high-end travel. It massively ramps up the pressure on budget-friendly hotels and shorter stays. Okay, so we've seen the incredible pull of demand. Now let's pivot and look at the other side of the rope. What's causing the squeeze on the supply side? And this is the critical question, isn't it? You have all these people wanting to travel, stay in hotels, and eat out. But what actually happens when the hospitality industry itself is stretched to its absolute breaking point? Well, a huge piece of the puzzle is this chain reaction in staffing. A post-Brexit reduction in the number of EU workers created these really big gaps all across the hospitality sector. So what does that mean for you? Well, it means that your favorite restaurant might now be closed 2 days a week, or the hotel bar shuts early, all because they simply don't have enough people on staff. And on top of the labor shortages, these businesses are facing just immense pressure to even keep the lights on. We're talking soaring energy prices, high business rates, VAT, and really strict regulations. All of that adds up, and that financial pressure, well, it inevitably gets passed on to you, the customer. And the squeeze isn't just about the day-to-day costs. The actual physical number of hotel rooms is also limited. In cities like London, you've got ridiculously high property prices mixed with these super strict planning regulations. It makes building new hotels a painfully slow and incredibly expensive process. And that means supply just can't expand easily to meet those huge spikes in demand we were talking about. So you've got this immense pull on one side of the rope and this incredible squeeze on the other. What happens when they collide head-on in the real world? Well, you get a perfect storm. A perfect storm is exactly what it sounds like. It's that moment where a bunch of different negative things all happen at the same time, combining to create this chaotic result that's way worse than any one of those problems would have been on its own. Let's just watch this play out. First, a colossal demand spike. A superstar like Taylor Swift announces a concert. Instantly, tens of thousands of fans rush to book travel and a place to stay. Then, at the same time, a huge supply shock hits. Unexpected train strikes are announced, crippling the transport network. All the while, hotels are already dealing with those background pressures, soaring energy bills and major staff shortages. So for you, the traveler, the result is just chaos. The transport disruption means a lot of people can't even get into the city. Hotels, facing their own issues, hike up their prices to cover costs, and even if you manage to find a room, the service might suffer because the staff they do have are completely stretched thin.
It's just an expensive, frustrating, and really stressful experience.
So, after seeing how all these forces can collide, let's bring it all together. What does this constant battle actually mean for you? Ultimately, it's this. Every single UK trip you plan is caught right in the middle of this tug of war. You've got the pull of an exciting event or a beautiful city on one side, but on the other, you've got the very real pressures squeezing the industry: labor shortages, high costs, and a limited number of rooms. Your whole experience is pretty much decided by which side is winning that battle at the exact moment you decide to book.
And that leaves us with this massive question for the future. As this tug of war between overwhelming demand and a squeezed supply gets even more intense, who's ultimately going to pay the price? Is it going to be travelers facing higher and higher costs? Will it be the businesses themselves struggling just to stay afloat? Or is it the UK's reputation as a whole? It's a battle that is far from over,